In the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Right, up. 50, right there, 54 Mike.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Let's go, baby.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Slam, slam, slam.
2x2. Move. Hey, box drop.
Now Joe Mixon. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
He's checking crab. Hatchet.
On second down now, Mixon. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Dalton here from the gun. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Brad McDougal. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Check. Lucky. Ship.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
19.
Mike 52. You can't block me.
Wilson. And that's incomplete. The linebacker, Preston Brown, there to knock that one away. Well, the Bengals and Seahawks meeting here in Week 1, and this is a combination that we haven't seen that often on the turf. If you look back to when the franchises began facing each other all the way back in 1977, but since then, just 20 meetings between the two teams. And the Bengals have won 11 of them, including the last meeting back in October. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down.
I guess it's good we can't really Read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. A gain of 6 there on first. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, 76 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back. To the 20.
Take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, first and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson, and the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey! Go 14. Where's 52?
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Keep playing hard, fellas.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down.
Mike 57. Hey, they're scared. Shift. Watch the shift.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
First and 10.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. Hey. No.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Geno Atkins got home that time.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Shift. He's coming. We got double up.
Here's Wilson to throw. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
That's it. That's it. Big hit.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Take four.
25.
57. Mike, 57.
You ain't going nowhere.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's fourth down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 23-yard line.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Ricky. Hey, seam 6.
Dalton now to pass. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, 77 yards. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. Bullock good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
You think you gonna get this? Twist. Watch the twist. Cut. Kill. Turn it up. Kill.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a second down coming up. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
14, got it.
Now Wilson.
Hey, pick your game up.
He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Bengals with 2 extra DBs, a nickel look on 3rd.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Ross on the return.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Hey. Night, sweetheart. He's coming. Double up. He's coming.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
On first down, it's Carson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, second down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
So they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. Pretty heavy traffic over the middle on that one, and somehow he emerged with the football. Way to possess it despite all the extra contact and people around him.
Green 80. Come on, D. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Alert. Even.
They run for it with Carson. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down to the backfield. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Bengals will get the football back. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Now Mixon, and very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. With a sack, it's Ziggy Ansah.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, first and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. From the 38, Wilson. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 11 yards there, first down.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
They'll run on first down. Carson, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
No, check that.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. From 19 yards away. As they are now on the board here in the first half. Myers connects on the PAT. And that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. On 2nd down, Mixon, and he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
I'm going to hit you.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
44. Here you go.
56. 56. Rabbit.
Check 13. Check regular.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Dalton, he's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Returnable for Lockett.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Blue lady. Alert. Bring it.
On the delay, here's Carson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Bengals' 46-yard line.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And the Seahawks on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Now it's Wilson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
54. Bring it. Bring it. Alert 3. Alert 3.
Regular. Kill.
They begin with a run by Mixon. And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4.
Yeah, baby.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the 1st down carry. 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 47-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now it's Wilson. Underneath pass here to Van Ness. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st down, it's Carson, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at the 39-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Wilson now. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 28.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. One left.
Hey, check.
Now Wilson on first down. Steps away to his left. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Gotta go, in and out. Let's go.
Come on, D.
They'll run on first down. Carson, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Taking it in from 11 yards out as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-up.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, 75 yards. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. Let's do this.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get to score on offense?
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
I'm coming.
Here's Wilson. He's going deep for Brown. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To throw is Wilson. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. David Moore, 70 yards, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. It was 3rd and medium. They popped the short pass, looking to pick up the first, accomplish that mission, and then they accomplished a lot more on that mission all the way for the score.
Let me focus in on one word you used, pop, right? They popped the short pass, and then what happened after that? They popped the big run, because now, once he caught it, didn't have anyone else in the vicinity to bring him down, and he takes off, and he kept going. Nice gutsy call, even better execution.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. So Green able to avoid the defender, make the tough catch, and that obviously reminds me of the article you and I were reading before the game. In elementary school, he was on the juggling team. He could juggle not 3 but 4 things at once, and that's where he got that good hand-eye coordination.
So when we talk about circus catches that he's made, we're actually pretty accurate, aren't we?
Absolutely. Were you on your elementary school juggling team?
No, they cut me in the first round.
I figured. They wouldn't even let me audition.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Again, it's Mixon. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Check 50.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Flushed out. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Carson. The 30, 20, 10, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Brad McDougal.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game, and so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. They run it with Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a 1st down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Let's do it. This yours.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch that. Quick there.
Hey, 0-0-0.
Here's Carson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Let's go double count right here. Double count.
They go play action with Wilson.
Squeeze, double.
Dancing to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
315. 52's the mark.
Danny.
From the gun on 3rd down. Wilson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Geno Atkins able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going, and they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here, and sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. This is Mixon. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. From the 36, Dalton going deep downfield for Ross. That's incomplete, nearly another pick, my goodness.
trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
Joker, 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 Joker. Shit, shit, shit. Check, 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 check.
On 1st down, it's Carson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
As many games as the two of us do, I would hope that one day we'll be able to solve this riddle. Why is it on a hot day that one team has more trouble with the heat than another? And especially when you can't stop a guy running the ball.
You know it's September in the booth, though, when you and I have both removed our coats, and those were gone in the 1st quarter.
They were gone in the 1st quarter, and what we're watching now is a defense mentally giving in and sagging a little bit because they haven't been able to stop him.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that'll make this a 7-point game. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. I see you nodding your head up and down. That's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That could finish things off for them.
They'll try on fourth. Here's Dalton. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown.
Let's go.
He is a difference maker at the linebacker position. He had a pick six last year, remember it. But it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is because sometimes they're pattern reading, seeing what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this, these linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them were running backs. And they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining.
We got this.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Move. Out, 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 out. Hey, go, 368.
Dalton right back on the horse after the pick six. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Dalton. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney. In there to drop him as that clock continues to run. And Dalton to throw. He's going to let it fly. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So the victory here for Seattle. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason, and now I'm listening to you. So for the Seahawks, that'll be a happy locker room as they